Okay, so as we can see, here's the delivery challenge for this PO return. Once again, analogous to the bill of lading in the US. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a little shop floor order item transaction. Allocation, we'll go ahead and search this out. Select this line item here and populate the number to allocate. Show you what type of sub-inventory it is, raw materials. And then we'll go ahead and allocate that, process that allocation. We can pick up our lot number here, the quantity, and then of course in others we can select the specific serial numbers that we want to allocate. Click on the allocate. It'll show us the shop floor order number. You can go ahead and copy that out. Navigate back to the report center in eChain, into the inventory reports, down to the transaction register report. Open that up. Enter in my warehouse name. Of course, the from and to dates. Look for all transaction types in this situation. Put in the item type, and of course, if you don't populate any to date, it's going to be populated for you automatically, assuming that it's the same date as the from date. So here's the transaction register report. As you can see, shop floor order number 11072. Component allocation, which is the transaction that we just processed. Okay. Well, that's it for the outbound transactions. Let's move on to the moving transactions in our day in the life demonstration. Okay, so we want to do a quick warehouse transfer here. Let me show you how to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the source warehouse and the destination warehouse. Horizon to GM India. And the sub-inventory source, destination, it's going to be finished goods for us, and for them, it's going to be finished goods stores. Let's go ahead and select the item name. It's going to be that 5mm steel plate that's been following us around throughout this demo. Enter in the quantity. And of course we can put in any comments that we need to if we feel we should clarify something in this transaction. And then the in-transit time. Here's where I can select the lot and serial number. I'll do a quick search. Just click that radio button on the appropriate lot. Type in the number that I want from that lot. Then I can select them from the Others tab and save it. Then I can process the transfer. So we got a successful transaction notification from the system, and then that gives us the transaction number as well, which I can copy out. Go into the transfer receipt screen, enter in that warehouse transfer number, select it. So here's the transfer receipts list. This is the only one on the list at this time. I'm going to go ahead and add it. And here's the document. We can type in a description. Put in that revision number. Select the lot and serial number. Warehouse transfer lot. From serials 15. There we go. Go ahead and save it. Okay, so our transfer receipt has been successfully entered into the system. And we can just really quickly check the quantity on hand to verify that it's gone through. We should have 3 that were just processed. Okay, so let's click on this warehouse here. And as you can see, we've got an on-hand amount of 3, just as we processed that receipt a moment ago. So no problems there. Okay, so what about a sub-inventory transfer? Let me show you how to do that. I'm just going to populate this inventory information here, warehouse, source, and destination sub-inventories. Type of good, the number, bring up that lot and serial information again, select it. So we'll check that radio box, enter in the amount, go over to others, select the serial number that we actually want to process on this sub-inventory transfer. Then we'll click the transfer button. It's really an easy to use process here within eChain in order to make these transactions. Nothing too tedious. Facilitates the business process with ease. Okay, so back to the report center again. Check on the inventory reports. And bring up the sub-inventory transfer. So here's where I can actually run a report. Check that that transaction that I just processed went through on those 5mm steel plates. Gotta make sure that I enter my date here. The system's giving me a quick notification, so we'll go ahead and populate that and make the system happy. So here's the transfer report. Source, sub-inventory, destination, the item name, of course, all that basic information summarized for us there. So we can also run the transaction registry report. I'll just select the warehouse that I want to do it for. Also the from date. And which type of transactions we're going to be looking for. And then we'll enter the item name. Once again, that 5mm steel plate. And I can see all the transactions here. Intra-warehouse transfer, miscellaneous receipts, etc. And so you can see the description, the lot names, the document number that the transaction was associated with, transaction quantities, all this information easily tracked through that report. Okay, well, our next process that we're going to take a look at is inventory accuracy. Let's look at physical inventory and cycle account adjustment, how we do those in eChain. So let's go into the item.